Hello, everybody. Hello, Ignacio. Welcome to our monthly Q&A. I see we've got 4 attendees. Let's give it a few minutes. Give people the chance to join us. All right, let's give another minute or two, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, my name is Jonathan. I'm the customer support manager at Companio, and with me is Ignacio. He is the CEO at Companio. And we've got a short presentation for you, and then we'll get straight into your questions and answers.
I think we can start.
Okay, let's get going. So again, welcome to our monthly Q&A. We're glad that you could join us. So we're going to go through on how to set up a company with Companio. It's 3 simple stages. And I think, the longest it can take is up to 2 weeks. So initially, the company registration, everything can be done online within 5 minutes. So you go onto our website, you say you want to become a customer, then we ask for the members' information, and then it's the payment. Usually it's 390 euros, but now it's 265 euros plus VAT. And for any additional member of the company, it's 50 euros plus VAT.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the company activation. This is also very straightforward. We support you through this whole process. It's signing of our contract, then signing in the company register. Then it's the VAT application, if that is applicable to your company. Then it's opening the company bank account. And this process really can take between 1 and 2 weeks. Like I said, we'll be with you every step of the way. Then the third step is the accounting routine. It's linking your corporate bank account. And by the 5th of every month, you should upload all of your invoices for the sales and purchases from the previous month. We do offer dynamic pricing. It's starting from 79 euros per month plus VAT, and that's up to 20 invoices per month. And then it works incrementally depending on the amount of invoices you have monthly.
Mm-hmm.
So is it viable for me to have a company in Estonia? We will dive into that now with you. So online activity and location independent. These are the 2 main questions to ask yourself. Do you have an online activity, and are you location independent? If the answer is yes, then most probably this is for you. The only exception is dropshipping and Amazon FBA activity. And also for crypto, fintech, and tour guides, we do not provide licensing, but we do provide support and accounting for this. So Companio is for solopreneurs, digital nomads, freelancers, international startups, and small and medium-sized enterprises.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I withdraw my money from my company with Companio? There's 4 legal ways to obtain your money from your company. So the first one is dividends. Once a year, you can withdraw your dividends after your first year of running your company. So you'd need to complete your annual report, which we would do for you, and then you can withdraw your dividends. The company then pays 20% taxes on these dividends. Option 2 is the contractor. You can invoice your company as a freelancer or self-employed, and you can retrieve your money that way. Alternatively, there's the employee. So Companio is about to launch Companio Work, where we will assist you in becoming an employee of your company. And then you'll receive your salary and your taxes will be covered as if you were an employee with any other company. As a digital nomad, you can invoice as a freelancer, but you have to make sure that you're a non-tax resident. You know, a lot of people think because they're traveling that they automatically become a digital nomad. That is not the case. There is a process that you have to go through. If this is something that you are doing at the moment or you're interested in, Ignacio can definitely answer some questions there as he's gone through this process himself. And also, it's advisable to consult a local tax advisor of the country that you're based in. Our focus is Estonia and the Estonian tax laws and tax authorities in Estonia. And we don't really know the tax laws of the other countries. So it really is advisable to consult with a local tax advisor. So that was quick and easy. So now we're off to your questions and answers. So at the bottom, you'll see it says Q&A. So if you will please write your questions there, and we'll be able to answer them for you.
Exactly. Well, we wait for the questions and answers. One of the most common question, as Jonathan mentioned, is this viable for me? Can I open my company or can I open my business in Estonia? And I always say that the answer is very easy. If you are capable of getting on a plane tomorrow with your laptop and landing in Thailand or France or Argentina and continue working from a cafe or from your apartment, then that means that you are location independent and you have an online activity. It's all about being part of the digital nation, meaning developing your activity completely online in the digital world. And we have one question that is, how does the company setup look like for multiple shareholders, startups with Companio? Thanks. It's as simple as, you know, the Estonian business system is very simple. So there's a private limited company, which is flexible enough to kind of serve one entrepreneur or startup with 3 or 4 members. So it's as simple as all the members need to get the e-residency card. It's a very easy paperwork that you can do online. And then when you do, you all sign the application in the registry. You decide the level of shares that each shareholder is going to have. Some of them will be shareholders, some other board members. Probably most of them will be shareholders, and it's as simple as that. All of them sign in the registry, and the company is registered. So there's nothing special about it, really. And Matilda is asking, I have already built a company in Estonia. I'm a resident, but I will probably move to an e-residency scheme. Should I move to identity first and then subscribe, or use my Estonian ID and subscribe before asking the e-residency? And then subscribe, or when you mean subscribe, you mean to change the e-residency identification to an e-resident, from a Estonian resident to an e-resident one. Probably you should do that first, because it's important to know if you will be given the same name, the same number, the same ID from the authorities or by the authorities, or you will get a different number. If you get the same number, which is probably the case, that will be the easiest scenario, because you will be able to continue on signing probably with your new e-residency card exactly as before, and we will not need to change anything in the registry or anything, as everything will be already set up for your ID. So I suggest that you first go for the e-residency, and you can even ask the e-residency team beforehand if your identification will change. Probably not. Don't hesitate to add any question. Do you provide some basic legal help? We are not a law firm, so this is important. So we can not provide legal advice or legal help. That said, we can help with a lot of stuff that usually falls into the legal or law firm kind of area, such as things such as increasing your share capital in the registry, adding a new shareholder, removing a shareholder, removing a board member, adding a new board member, or all the changing the name of the company or all this stuff. But if you need like legal advice about things such as acquisitions or mergers or getting a license for a crypto business or what tokens should I issue, data security or not, then you really should contact a legal firm. Another question is, I don't know anything about accounting yet. Well, you don't need to, right? That's the idea. We know all that boring stuff, boring accounting stuff, so you don't need to. And she says, I was thinking of giving myself a salary and be a digital nomad. Does company provide consultancy to understand how to handle everything? Yeah. Actually, you don't even need to have like a consulting session. That's probably very easy. You have probably 2 or 3 questions like, what happens if I'm a digital nomad? If you're really a digital nomad and you leave your country and you do the right thing, like announcing to your tax office and your there's probably a lot of offices you need to communicate that you are no longer a tax resident or a resident in the country, then you are no longer a tax resident there. Then if you don't have a tax resident, as Jonathan mentioned, you can issue an invoice for your company because you don't have a tax residence. But you need to consult a local tax advisor to understand how you get non-tax resident in your country. Imagine you are from France. You need to consult a local French tax advisor or legal advisor to ask this person, how can I stop being a tax resident in France? And then you are sure that you are not tax resident anywhere. I'm a tax resident in Estonia from some months. In the cases of Estonia, you need to, that can be done online, actually. You need to go to the EST portal, you probably know about it, it's online. And you need to indicate that you no longer has a residence in Estonia. You will probably be asked the reasons for living or where are you living or etc. But it's very easy.
If you have any more questions, please write them. We are here to answer and help you with them.
Don't be shy. We are super happy to answer any question about your business. Yeah. If the situation is good for you to have a company in Estonia or not, or any doubts that you may have about the process, or how is the activation of the company, or what are your monthly obligations. Mathilde is saying, my goal is to stay resident in Estonia, but to live abroad in 3-month periods. So I need to understand what is personal cost and what can go to business costs. This is mainly what I mean by consultancy. Well, if you're going to be a resident in Estonia, you don't really need to stop being a resident in Estonia, because having a company in Estonia is a natural setup if you're a resident of Estonia, right? So you don't even need to kind of do this process of saying that you are leaving the country and you'll no longer be a tax resident, etc. You can still be a tax resident in Estonia. That's very nice. Regarding costs, when you are a tax resident in Estonia, you pay for your salary. You pay taxes for your salary that goes to cover Social Security, unemployment, and all these benefits that you enjoy for being a Estonian tax resident. So in your case, if you are going to continue being a tax resident in Estonia, my personal recommendation is to assign yourself or distribute these dividends instead of a salary, because Estonian residents have a very special regime in which they don't pay extra taxes for the dividends they receive from the company. So if your company issues dividends, this will be taxed 20% of gross, any other dividends from any other Estonian company, but you will not pay additional taxes on top of that. And if you are going to be traveling, probably you will not even use the Estonian Social Security, etc.
And also, just to add, so it says to understand what is the personal cost and what can go to business costs. So The company can pay for company expenses. So if you're traveling for business, so then the company can cover the flight and can cover the accommodation for the business trip. But if you're just traveling around, so you decide to go to Southeast Asia for 3 months and you're traveling between the different countries in Southeast Asia, that is your personal cost. The company cannot cover those costs unless it is you can show that it is for business, that you've traveled from Thailand to another country. If you can show that that is a business expense, then the company can cover that cost. But for any actual living expenses, that cost is a personal cost. So for a business trip, the company will give you a daily allowance, which is 50 euros for the first 15 days, I believe. And then it's 35 euros thereafter. But that's for business trips. So you can't say for the 3 months, the first 15 days is 50 euro. And then for the next 45 days is 35 euros a day. It doesn't work like that. That is your personal expenses, which the company cannot cover.
Yeah, exactly. That's important. It's all the business trips are covered, and you get it's deductible, the trip, the expense, the accommodation. If you need a taxi to get to the airport, all that's covered. But you cannot say, okay, I don't know, I'm a blogger, so I will travel to Thailand for 3 months and write about it. And these 3 months is like a business expense. It's like, no, these business trips need to be for a specific reason. Like, for instance, you go to a summit or a conference, or you go to work with a client or something like that. And yeah, about the having a home in Estonia or your ID card, I would say that's a very personal decision. So I will recommend you that you contact the residency team and told them about this, because they will let you know first if you need the residency card beforehand, and then they can give you an indication of what to do in case you want to start traveling. You don't really need to have like a house in Estonia, but probably if you're going to be a resident and you want to keep on being a resident there, you need to have an address, a residential address, right? So probably you will need some kind of rental or anything like that, but that's something that you need to kind of discuss with a local advisor, so to speak, because it's about your tax residence.
And also just keep in mind, Estonia is not going to tell you that you cannot come back to Estonia because you've left for 3 months. You're still a resident of Estonia. From what I'm understanding, you might be a citizen of Estonia. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. So as a citizen, I mean, you can really travel and go for any amount of time. Like if you were a temporary resident, then the laws are different. Like in my case, I'm a temporary resident in a country, and I can leave for 30 days within a 12-month period. Okay.
Yeah, that's why, yeah, exactly. That's why we suggested that you talk to someone local, because your situation may be different. Probably you can even contact the guys at work in Estonia, and they will be able to kind of advise you, because they know a lot about foreign citizens living or residing in Estonia. Exactly. We can advise more about the ins and outs of having the business and the tax residence of your business and the taxes that you need to pay or stuff like that, but less about your personal situation.
Yeah, in this case, it's definitely advisable to speak to somebody in the country that can advise on personal residency.
That's all. Okay.
Great. So I can give a minute or two in case some questions arise, and we can answer them for you. If not, then yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's give them a minute.
If later a question does come to you, please feel free to go to our website. There's a link to go to our online chat, which is available until 7 p.m. Central European time. And feel free to speak to my team that will be very happy to help you and answer any questions that you may have.
Exactly. Yeah. And as always, as our COO always says, our team is there and they are people. They are real people. It's an amazing team of 6 people led by Jonathan, and they will be happy to answer your questions. They are not robots or anything like that.
Yes, we are real people.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Then, yeah, if there's no more questions, again, I want to thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day, evening, wherever you are in the world.
Exactly. Morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.